Okay, we are recording. So, the first one we got is 1.3. Let me pull up the whiteboard. And it's not there, so I gotta go out here. That's the only thing I don't have up is the whiteboard. Oh, it's already up. There it is. Duh. There we go. So 1.3, number 7, number 3. So it's number 7 in the book on 1.3 and number 3 online. And I'll tell you if it's a test question or not. Oh, Lord, it's that question again. So we'll go over, I'll get you started on it. I'll do the first part and then you can do it at home, okay? There is your, let me see if I can blow this up in. I don't know if it'll blow that up when I do this or not. Yeah, it does. Hot dog. I done learned something new. Look at there. All right, so write those down and I want you to give me a sample space or a sample set of outcomes with those 5 classes. Okay? In threes. So you got to put 3 to a group. And if you can't do it, just consider yourself what?
A loser.
A failure or a loser. Or disappointment. It depends on how bad. If you don't even try it, then you're a disappointment. Sense of Humor 101, that's a class. Have tried these, Mr. Poole? They're not.
They're not good.
Mm-hmm. No.
It's got sour stuff inside.
Yeah, but they don't taste like gummy worms. So, that's how we take. Use gummy worms. Or the octopi. Sometimes I have sugar cravings, and that's what gets me by. Now, you're going to have 1, 2, 3. I think you're going to have a sample space of 12, if I'm not mistaken. So you should have 12 altogether when we get finished. All right, so I'm going to take these 2, and I'm going to put them with all these other ones. So 6, 9, 7, 6, 6, 5, 6, 9, 7, 6, 6, 5, and 6, 9, 7, 6, 6, 5. And I'm going to put the first one with that one, so it'll be 6, 6, 2. That one, 6, 3, 5. And that one, 6, 1, 9. Now at that point, I'm going to take my handy dandy eraser, and I'm going to erase those little lines. And I'm going to pick 2 more. So I'm going to pick the first one, and that one. And I'm going to write 3 more. So that'd be 6, 9, 7, 6, 6, 2. 6, 9, 7, 6, 6, 2. 6, 9, 7, 6, 6, 2. 6, 9, 7, 6, 6, 2. All right, what am I going to put those, the first one with? 6, 6, 5. Second one, 6, 3, 5. And the last one, 619. Take my handy dandy eraser. Pick two more. I'm going to pick the first one and the fourth one. And write three of those down. 697, 635. 697, 635. 697, 635. 697, 635, 665. 662. And 619. Now you do the last set. I'll even tell you which one to use. Which one are you going to use? 697 and what? 617, 697, and 619. There you go. I'll do the last set. That'll be it. That's your sample set. Now, for those of you that's already done the sample set, go ahead and do B. B says find the. Let me move it. Doesn't know. It says 697, 665, 635. I'm going to go ahead and do the last set now. 697, 619. 697, 619. 697, 619. 697, 619. And then I'm going to add 665, 662, okay, this bottom right corner is just not working, and 635. Now, what does it ask for? It says find 697, 665, 635. 697, 665, and 635. There's one. See another one? 697, 635, 665. Right here. What else? 697, 635. I'm looking. Y'all see another one? 697, 635, 665. Y'all see any more? Should only be two. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Let's see what happens. Let's click on, well, let's see. Good gracious. Somebody's got 6 or 7 here. Let me read comment on the likelihood that EPR 6 will be selected. Well, I don't understand why some of these are checked because they don't include that. I don't know why they're checked. Somebody's trying to confuse me, that's what it is. Y'all look at the answers while I try to get this thing figured out. There. Okay. 697, 635. Tell me which one it is. Is this it? No. 697. Did you say C? Okay, B, D, I can't get Bravo or Delta.
Is it E?
E is an Echo.
Yeah.
697, okay, there's one. Somebody give me another one while I play with this. There, anybody see another one? Six nine seven 665 635. 697 665. Is anybody looking, or y'all just standing there? I don't see another one. Do y'all? Yes or no?
It's just one like the E.
Let's see what happens. Okay, it says I don't have all of them, so I'm gonna just hit final check 2 or 3 times. Let's see what it says. Excuse me?
Well, because it says select out of possible 3 course selections.
Yeah, it's the part, it's number A.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were answering B. I'm sorry. Let me just do that then. I'm sorry. Okay, okay, now B. All right. There is how many in all chances? 12. And how many do we have? 2 out of 12, which is what? 1 out of 6. That's right, class. Good. Next time, would y'all tell me that I'm doing A instead of B? I'd appreciate it. Okay, so it'd be, what did I say? 1 out of what? 1 out of 6. And now we feel good about ourselves.
It's 1 out of 10.
How can it be 1 out of 10?
That's what the answer was.
No. I don't have 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have no idea. 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 12. I have no idea where they're getting 10. Can somebody help me? Because I have no idea. How many did they get? Let's see how many they got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have no idea how they got those. All right, see which ones they got. 697, 662, 619. 697, 662, 619, right there, right? Let's cross these off and let's see what they got, because evidently they're doing something I'm not doing. There's that one. 697, 665, 662. 697, 665. I'm looking. Where?
Bottom right,
Bottom right down here.
left side.
697,
619.
619. Right here.
Is that it?
697,
662.
665, 662.
It's the top.
Where?
Left.
Right here?
Left.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, take that one out. 697, 665, 635. 662, 635, 619. 662. I'm looking just to make sure. 662. All right, help me out. We're on this one, right?
Bless you, yeah.
662. There's 662. 635.
It's because you did every single group having 697.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Every single group has 697.
Yeah?
And that group doesn't have 697.
Oh, so, well, how,
I changed it. I didn't do every group having 697, but I still got the same.
well, you
amount.
still should get, how many did you get, 12?
Yeah, I still
You
got
still gonna get 12. I mean, that's just I mean, you're gonna have, I guarantee you, all of yours probably has the same one number in it. You've got one number that's repeating. It's gonna be hard not to do that. But I don't see, you got 12 too, right? And how'd you get 10? How'd you get 1 out of 10? I don't understand how you got that.
I didn't understand that question.
Well, I don't either. Let's see, just see, I wanna see what they do right here. Because evidently, either I'm missing something, or the,
Okay, I think I remember this,
okay, tell me.
because some of them are not right, okay, so select all possible 3/4. So we know it's not in, because that's just too much.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, the problem right here, B, they're getting 10 right here, or 20, I don't know how they're doing it. They're getting a subset that I'm getting 12. So I don't understand how they're getting 10 or 20, and I'm getting 12. You see what I'm saying? Let me see what they're doing, because this could be a misprint, it could be a view an example.
Just the 10 that was chosen?
I don't know. They must be. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'm not getting all that they're getting. So either I'm missing something that the question's asking, because I'm seeing 697, 665, 635.
It makes sense if you tell them the things that we've chosen, because that's 10, and then it's one group out of the 10.
Okay, maybe I'm reading the question wrong. Okay, 697, 665, 635. So that's the 10, and I guess I've got all of them up here, but y'all got to tell me. I don't know. 697, 635, 619. There's that one. Right there. Okay? I keep hitting red, and it's not paying me any attention. Okay? All right, that's that one. 665, 662, 665, 662, and 619. So I'm got to find that one. And it's just a cluster is what it is. 665, 662, 619. That's this one right now,
It
662.
doesn't have 97 in it, so
Okay.
I don't have a group for it.
Well, I don't know how you're gonna do it without picking one. You gotta pick one, and it's gotta repeat. So I don't know.
I did one. Can I show you?
Just tell me, what'd you do?
So like I did 697, and then 665, and then next year I did 665 and 662, and I did 35, 19, 97. And then I did 662, 635, and then 19, blah, blah, blah. And then 635 and 619.
And you have none that's repeating.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I mean, that must be the way you do it then, because I've never done it like that before. But let me look at the thing. This is, like you said, this is a confusing problem. I'm not gonna argue with you. We already did one of these, hadn't we? I thought we did.
We did, but it was just with 2.
Okay, but there's 3, so you gotta do
Yeah.
697, 665, 662.
Mm-hmm.
And then 665, 662, 6, but you're gonna have to. Hold on. I'm gonna see the way they're doing it, because I don't understand how they're doing it and coming out with the ones they're coming out with. I'm gonna erase this and let's see what they're doing. Is this a test question? That would be a hail to the no. Oh, look what they give you. They give you 2. Isn't that nice? Okay. Well, they're not gonna. They're making it. Well, that's easy. Without. Oh, look there. Isn't that nice? Did they give it to this on this one? That makes a whole lot of difference. That question is screwed up. Look what they give us right here. What they give you in the in the example, what does this say right here? Oh, wouldn't that be nice to have in the directions? That's why we're coming at different. Because the question, the mindset behind it is without replacement. So I'm including the replacement, so where you said you wasn't. Is that what you're saying, that you wasn't repeating it?
I mean, I was, I just didn't have 697 in every single group.
Yeah, you wasn't repeating. That's why this, okay. That's why there's a difference. Okay, the whole problem with this is the question is flawed because they are going to explain it to you without replacement. But you don't know that because what? The direction doesn't say that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like this. If you take a deck of cards and you say, I want to pick a card, and whatever I pick, I'm going to put it in my pocket. Everybody with me? And then you're going to pick again. Is that the same as you picked before? No. So this question is flawed. I'm just, okay, what I want you to do on this question, you should be able to take it 2 or 3 times, can you? Can you do it 2 or 3 times and eventually get it right? That's what you're going to do on this one. Because I've got to think about this one because something's not right with this question. Because they are telling you in the example without replacement, but when they start the question, it says nothing about replacement or repeating. So let me work on this one. I'm gonna have to work on this one because I don't think it is 100% correct. Has anybody got any input on it? I understand how they got the 1 out of 10 now. I understand that. Because they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've got 10. But my question is, I have 12 and they have 10. And I don't understand why they have 10. So I'll look at it and I'll figure it out before next class. How about that? This morning I didn't go through the whole question. I just went in and started it. And I didn't get to the end of it. So that's why I didn't notice that there was a problem. Let's not waste any more time on it. Let's go to the next problem. That's not a test question anyway. Let's go to 1.5. Whoever sent it, you deserve to send it because that's not a good question. All right, this is 1.5, number one. Oh, Lord, primitive. Hold on, I got to log back into the email. I wonder if other colleges have to do this. I think we just need to quit. You ever have one of those days it's just not right? There we go. All right, this. Okay, I'm breathing. What is a closed question? What is an open question? Okay? A closed question would be, who won the football game? Okay? You went to a high school football game the other night, and somebody asked you, who won the football game? And you tell them. Is that an open question or a closed question?
Closed.
Why?
Because you just gave an answer, you don't have no more.
There's an answer. It's not subjective, right? Not subjective. A closed answer is not subjective. A closed answer is not subjective. Subjective is when anybody could, any answer is what? Correct. What's the color of the sky? Well, it's blue and white. That's correct. Well, it's a little bit white and a little bit of sky blue. Yes, that's correct. An open answer is something that you cannot mark what? Wrong. It's an open answer. Now, why do they ask you this? Well, it's not like you're going to write a survey because, anyway, they're talking about polling and talking about surveys. When you do a survey or when you do a poll, you want to have closed what? questions, because closed questions are easier to what?
Answer.
Count. They're easier to count. They're easier to answer, and they're easier to count. Versus, what do you think about this person?
It's more open.
It's open, and there's no incorrect answer. The only incorrect answer is no answer. And you would say, didn't answer. You see what I'm saying? You got to have closed questions on a survey or a poll. True, false questions, those are closed. A number, like how many TVs do you have in your house? You're not going to say 3 or 4. You're going to have a 2, 3, 4, more than 4. That's a closed answer. That's a closed question. Versus, how many TVs do you have in your house, and just have a blank? Because somebody's going to put in there 2 to 3, or 3 or 4, or more than 6. Those are open answers because you can't put them in a category. So the difference between a closed and an open question is one is subjective, one is not. One is easier to count, one is not. So what's the answer? A closed questions have fixed choices of answers. Okay? Whereas an open question is free response. Who won the election? Who won the football game? That is a closed question. How many TVs do you have in your house? And you have A, B, C, or D, and D is 4 or more. That's a closed question. What's your favorite color? That could be subjective, because some of you have what? More than one favorite color. And some of you may say brown versus fuchsia, or fuchsia versus purple. Yes, ma'am.
Would that question be a closed question if it was like, what's your favorite color, and they listed brown?
That would be closed.
Okay.
Out of the following, what would be your favorite color? That would be a closed question. But leaving it open, some people would say purple, some people would say aqua, some people would say topaz, some people would say, I don't even know what topaz is. That is gemstone, topaz. Okay. Green. Some people would say emerald green. And then you'd have your responses. You'd have on your tally sheet 15,000, and you only had 10 questions. You see what I'm saying? You only had 10 people fill out what's your favorite color, but you had 15 answers because people use different colors, different, see what I'm saying? Anyway, that's what that means. Is that a test question? It could be, but I don't think it's a test question. I don't remember seeing this question before. So I doubt it's on the test because I've never seen it before. But it's an okay question. Not like that first question. That first question was stupid. 2.113/6. Tonight might be a tequila night. Y'all all know what it is, don't you? That's it. They're invading. Next thing you know, you're going to go out to your car and they're going to kidnap you, throw you in the back of the car, van, and then tell you who to vote for. There we go. All right, this is a test question, but I do not do the whole alphabet. What I do, I'll show you what I do. It says, here's a frequency distribution or a frequency table, and I want you to find the relative frequency, which is called what? What did I tell you relative frequency was called? Percent. And then the cumulative frequency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into, hit that little tab right there, and I'll send it into Excel, because I'm going to make every one of y'all master Excel. That's what I'm going to do. No, I'm doing it because it'll put it on the board and I won't have to make it small. So hold on a second. There it is. Everybody see it okay? Let me make it bigger. And we're going to do 2 or 3 things. And guess what? We're also, well, not right now. I'll shut up. All right, here is, and make it a little bit bigger so y'all can see it, because most of y'all Southern Baptists can sit on the back row. Fried chicken, get the fried chicken quicker, right? Get the Zaxby's quicker. Cracker Barrel, right? Y'all know the difference between the Methodists and the Southern Baptists?
Oh my God.
I'm a Southern Baptist, so I can make fun of. You know what the difference between a Methodist and a Southern Baptist is? The Southern Baptist talks to the cashier at the liquor store. The Methodist talks. Did I say Methodist? The Methodist talk. The Southern Baptist won't talk to them. Anyway, somebody's gonna be offended about that. There we go. Percentage and cumulative. I don't even know how to spell cumulative. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody will. What do you got to have before you have your percentage or your relative frequency? What do you got to have? You got to have a what? Total. So you hit your handy dandy sigma key. Dang old capital sigma. Uppercase sigma. Dang old Greek letter. There it is. And now we take each one of those numbers and put it over the total. And hit F4 for some of you Excel people. That locks it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then don't use it. And copy down. No yawning in class. You only get 2 chances. Sorry. And I saw somebody sneezed or coughed a while ago, so you can't do that either. You're only allowed to breathe in here. We actually had a teacher. I tell you about the teacher that threw out people because he yawned. The yawn. Yeah, got fired. You just don't know. Equals cumulative. You hit that number. Then what? You take that number and add what? Let's say D2 plus that number. And you copy down, and your last number should end up what? Yep, these two numbers should equal. Is there any reason for the cumulative frequency? No, just to check, make sure you didn't mess this number up. Now, if you want to change these to percentages, the directions will tell you right as a percentage. You just click on the dang old percentage key right here. Dang old 20, 22, 41. That's your relative frequency. So, make sure you can do at least those 2 things right there. Because that's what I'm going to ask you on the test. And I'll tell you right now, there's going to be probably 2 of them on the test. Just like this. I'm not going to ask you no A through G. Don't they ask you each one of them?
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous. Okay, anybody got a question on that one? So, out of the 3 questions that were sent, this is only one that I would put on a test. Now, it's going to ask you for the relative and it's going to ask you for the cumulative on the test. I'd rather it just cut off the cumulative because it's useless, but I can't, so I just put it on there, right? And you got to do this one and this one. Yes, ma'am.
I keep getting confused. I know we have to add the frequency to the total, but when we get the second step over here, we got the percentages. Can you explain again how you?
This one?
Yes, please.
You take this number and divide it by that number.
You do each number. Okay.
Divided by that. 910 divided by that. 371 divided by that. 38 divided by that. Just remember this. Blondes, brunettes, and redheads. What do you got to have? You got to have the total. Okay? Total in here is 20. Let's say 20. All right? I want the relative frequency of redheads. There's 2 redheads. Okay? I don't know how many in here redhead. I just said 2. So that's 2 out of 20. 1 out of 10, which is 0.1. So you got to remember blondes, brunettes, and redheads. You got to have a total, and then you put the number of blondes over the total, number of brunettes over the total, number of redheads over the total. Just remember that. That's a relative frequency. Hold your pinky up when you say relative frequency, or hold your pinky down and call it a percentage, because that's what it is. Capiche?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I'll show you this later, but you can take that right there, highlight these 2 right here, and you can insert dang old graph, dang old, well, I got to turn it around. We'll do that later. But you can actually do a graph and call these classes and insert the graph and do all that. We'll do that later. Okay? Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to actually do 3.1 through 3.3. Okay? 3.1 through 3.3, and it's not going to be fast at all because you have done this before. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the spreadsheet just like I did this morning, and you can follow along this morning's class also because I load both the videos into both classes so everybody can, and I'm trying to get to the spreadsheet. There it is. And I'm going to make up a data set. A data set is like test scores, okay? So you need to write it, and you need to have columns. So you might want to go with landscape notes. You might want to turn your notebook sideways because you're going to draw columns, okay? And use the whole page because we're going to use, up in this area, this will be the top left-hand area, what we're fixing to do right now, because we're going to use the whole page. We're going to do a lot of stuff on this page, okay? So just bear with me. And everybody's done this before since 6th grade because all of you wanted to find out what your grade was at the end of the semester. So what'd you do? You found your average of your test grades. So everybody's done this before. So I'm going to give you, no coughing in class, I'm going to give you 7 grades. You ready? Here we go. 75, 82, 85, 85, 90, 92, 95. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. Now I'll make it bigger because of the Southern Baptist in the group. There we go. How about that? Is that big enough? And I'm going to color these. I'm going to make them bold and underlined. And I'm going to go over here, and I want you to find the mean, the median, mode, range, mid-range, variance, and the standard deviation. Now, of course, do I expect all of you to know how to do that? No. But there's somebody in here that invented all of them. But most of y'all probably can't remember how to do them because either you've been a long time out of probability and statistics or you didn't have probability and statistics. But you remember how to find the average, and that's good. All right? So mean, what is mean? Let me make this bigger right here so that way we can write some stuff. Okay, the mean is called different things. It's called the average. Good. So we'll say average. It's also called X bar. And it's usually an X with a bar, but I just write X bar because it's too cumbersome to try to do that in the Excel spreadsheet. It's also called mu, which is a Greek letter, which means that's population. And it's also called what? The mean. Everybody with me? All those are the same thing. Median is the weighted middle calculation. Okay? That's what I like to call it. The weighted middle calculation. So is the mid-range, but the mid-range is based just on the well, that's what it's based on the range. Anyway, we're going to get there. Mode shows up the what? The most. Range, that's the highest minus the what? Good. Somebody paid attention in class. Mid-range. The mid-range is your midpoint. I'm just going to put midpoint, and it's calculated using the range. Midpoint using the range. I'll get to that in just a minute. So let's go up to the handy-dandy mean. And somebody tell me how to do the mean. You add up all the numbers and divide by what? So this would be all these divided by what? 7. So everybody do that on your calculator and see if you come up with 86.286. Well, I'm trying to do too much, but I'm trying to, just give me a second. There we go. Now, to find the median, there's two different ways to find the median. Well, one is you have, both of them, you have to count how many numbers you have. I thought I turned that off, I'm sorry. Turn it off. You're supposed to have a heart attack. There you go. What if n is odd?
And you have to get the two, like 85 would be the median, then
Good.
you have to
Well,
add.
you just find the middle.
Yeah.
That's why I said if n is odd, you just find the what? The middle. So highlight that. And that is over here. And that is equal to that number. And boom. But what if n is even? If n is even, you have to average the two middle numbers. And let's write that down. If n is even, there's supposed to be a space there. If n is even, you have to average the middle numbers. Somebody else is having a sugar attack.
I'm just hungry, that's all I have.
Well, me too. But you're eating Twizzlers, and is those Twizzlers?
Yeah.
I've never understood Twizzlers.
I got them at the like fair.
Oh, okay. Well, I wonder because I've tried them, and it's like, to me, they don't taste good. But that's just me. I'd much rather have the sugar-coated octopi. Mode shows up the most. What would that be?
85.
85. Now, can you have more than one mode? Yes. If you don't have a mode, you don't put 0, because some smart aleck teacher would say 0 is not even in the data set. Okay? Do not put 0. You say none, nairn, ain't none, isn't any, does not exist. You put words if there is not a mode, because that will get you. In standardized test, they'll put 0, and that'll be one of your choices. You put none. You put the word none. Range, that's equal to the highest minus the what? Lowest. And again, most of you, I would say probably 90% of you have seen this before until we get to the variance. Okay? Mid-range. Mid-range is when you take the highest plus the lowest and take the average. Let me go out here. Well, let me just go ahead. Highest plus the lowest divided by 2. We'll go out here and I'm going to put highest, high plus low, parentheses, don't forget my parentheses, divided by 2. And like I say, most of you will not have a problem with those. Okay, check your numbers and see if you got those. If you got those, then you're probably up to 3.1 and 3.2, because that's 3.1 and 3.2 starts off at the bottom, and it kind of gets you gradually up into center tendency, or tendency of center. And that's what you get to 3.3 and 3.4. All right? Now, what is the variance? Well, the variance is a number, and we'll get to this toward the end of the class. Variance is a number, and basically the standard deviation depends on the variance. So it's just a number we get so we can get the standard deviation. But the first thing you got to do is know the formula for standard deviation. And that is right here. Variance is equal to the summation of x minus x bar, quantity squared, over n minus 1. Now, it looks kind of intimidating, but it's really not. As long as you follow these steps that I give you, you'll be able to do it over and over and over. There is a way to do it on your calculator, but we're going to do it by hand first. because I want y'all to know something about this. I want you to be able to do something with the numbers, not just regurgitate and put into a calculator. My son can do that. He don't even know how to do this stuff. He can put it in a calculator and do it, and I ask him what it is, and he says, I don't know. You just told me how to do it on a calculator. Y'all seen these cash register people that can't make change? That's what it produces. Okay? They can't spell mom backwards if you ask them real quick. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is what?
Bless you.
That was a sneeze. Stop. X minus X bar. So I'm going to take X and I'm going to subtract what from it? X bar. Yeah, the average. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say X minus X bar. I'm going to make a column and I'm going to do it. Equals this number minus this number. And I'm going to hit F4 because I'm going to lock it. And if you know Excel, you know why I did that. And I'm going to copy it down. Check your numbers. I would go ahead and do all of them. And check your numbers and see if you got the same thing I got. 75 minus 86.2. Here's the question I get. Well, Hubert, how do we know how long to take it? I always tell students to take everything out to 3 or 4 digits. And when do you round? At the very end, right before you type in your answer. And the question will say, round answer to the nearest tenth. Well, you've got 3 or 4 digits to deal with. So don't ever round in the middle of a calculation. You always carry everything to 3 or 4 digits. And at the end, right before you type in your answer, that's when you round. So we've got X minus X bar. You should have those numbers. You should be able to get the same numbers I got. Now tell me what I'm supposed to do after I get X minus X bar. What does the formula say? Square it. So I'm going to take each one of these numbers and I'm going to square it. So you can do that in the next column. X minus X bar, quantity squared. Y'all need some vitamin C or something. Maybe they need some of your orange drink up here. Maybe that's what they need. Yeah. You know, when the first stage is admitting you have a problem. You know, that's the first stage. Okay. We all know how it is in Belton. Go there, 127.37, and I copy all those down. Check those numbers. You should have those numbers in your column. Make sure you can work your calculator in the columns, because that's what I want you to do, because we're gonna see how this works in just a minute. We're gonna spend whole class on this one problem, because we got some other things we're gonna show you, and you're gonna walk out of here and you're not gonna need a gallon full of water. Okay, you're not gonna need that, or the sunglasses inside, or the too much makeup, orange face, white neck. You won't need that, because you'll feel good about yourself. I hope. Y'all are concentrating, aren't you?
There was a kid in our class last semester that he posted a picture with a gallon jug, and then after you said that.
Oh, he was in our class?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what'd he do? What'd he do after he...
I don't think he posted it.
Well, I'm sorry. At least didn't raise his hand and say, you're making fun of me. Get a water bottle. That's what everybody does. Oh, me. People. Now, what do you do after you do X minus X bar and you square it? What does that backwards looking, funky looking E mean? What does that sigma mean? Sigma means add them all what?
Together.
Add them all up. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to hit my sigma button and I'm going to highlight all this and I'm going to color it. I'm going to highlight that dang old aqua color. And that, and find aqua color over here. It's supposed to be that color. that aqua cell is that numerator right there. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put in this cell right here, I'm going to put that number right there. Sorry, let me take my handy dandy, move this over a little bit. I don't know why I have to hit that 2 or 3 times. Really? There. And then what's going to be on the bottom? I'll do this calculation for you. It's going to be 6. That's some hard math, Bud Rowe. 6.
So it's the amount of numbers you put.
Well, how many numbers you got over here? 7? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm off the screen here. Hold on. Okay, where's my test scores? Did I just erase my test scores? I've went over.
It's still more space.
You're using the wrong mouse. You gotta change it back. You're on the whiteboard.
Oh, thank you. There. Whew, thought I was going crazy there for a minute. All right. I might need some of that drink you got over there. All right, so now it's going to divide by 6. Don't worry, I pick on, I can tell you my the business calculus class, I pick on somebody in there. Who's Miss Shuttleworth? She's at Pendleton campus. And I tell everybody that she's got issues, and she just takes it in stride. She's got a sense of humor. She attended that class. It's called Sense of Humor 101. They offer it in high school. All right, and what do you get? Variance equals. It's all, some places call it anti-snowflake 101, anti-buttercup 101. It's called sense of humor. All right. So what do you get? Well, I'm going to check it right here. Divided by 45.238. Somebody check that and make sure I got the right number.
That's right.
Okay, Mr. Poor, just leave. And you're supposed to be in my calculus class. You're going to fail. See, that's why you're going to fail at life, Mr. Poor. And live in a ditch. With the Russians. Yep. They're going to throw you in the back of a van first and take you down by the river, in a van down by the river. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about, don't you? Dang, oh, what's his name? Nick Foley, the motivational speaker? Forget it. It's your parents' fault. Does anybody tell me the relationship between the variance and standard deviation? Anybody?
Standard variance square root.
The square root of the variance is called the,
Standard deviation.
okay, and the standard deviation raised to the second power is the what? The variance. So you can go backwards, forward. Now this is important for a standardized test because sometimes they'll ask you just one question and it'll say, find the standard deviation, and they'll give you a BA number, like 2,446. All you got to do is take the square root of it. If you're going from the variance to the standard deviation, you take the square root. Sometimes they'll give you a question and it'll say, find the variance, and they'll give you a number like 5.6, or let's just do 5. They'll say the standard deviation is 5. What is the variance? 25. You with me? So if you go backwards or forward. So in this case, I'm going to take the square root of that number. So I'm going to raise it to the 1/2 power or to the 0.5 power. And that will give us 6.7259. Now, the question I'm going to ask you is, what do we have? And y'all all will say a bunch of numbers. Okay? I doubt very seriously that I've got a Rain Man in here that's going to say, well, we've actually got a tendency of center where you can actually plot the normal distribution and then pull up the empirical rule. Nobody's going to say that. Okay? All you're going to say is you got a bunch of numbers, right? Now, what do they tell you? They tell you whether your data is decent or not. What do you mean, Hubert? Well, I want you to turn into your book. If you have a book, I want you to turn to wherever you see the empirical rule. It'll be in 3.2 or 3.3 or 3.4. It's called the empirical rule. EMP. Hold on a second. EMPIRI, empirical rule. You find it?
Page 132.
Page 132. Good job, Ms. Jeter. See, why can't you be like her, Ms. Ford? Why can't you be more like her?
I left one number off.
Yeah, tell that to the bank when you're working at the bank and you send the bank into bankruptcy because you're one digit. All right, empirical rule. The empirical rule basically states this. You got a chart. Now you got to memorize this. It's going to be on your test at least 5 or 6 times. Very important. Star, highlight, very important. The mean goes in the middle. Mean is, I'm just going to say 86 because I'm not going to do these decimals. You need to do the decimals on your homework on your test, but I'm just going to do 86. Okay, 86 is my mean. My standard deviation is 7. So 86 plus 7 is 93. 93 plus 7 is what? 100. 100 plus 7 is what? 107. So what do we do to the right of the mean? We add the standard deviation. Everybody got that? Write it down. You add to the mean, you add the standard deviation to the mean on the right side. So what do we do on the left side? You subtract. Yes, you minus. Or, you know, people made fun of me when I was little until I became a math instructor. I'd say take away. I never heard people laugh. I mean, people would laugh at me. I wouldn't say subtract. I'd say take away. And I didn't get out of that until my first, second year of college. So I don't know where the takeaway comes from. Anybody ever said that before? Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, good. I didn't know chest of drawers was chest of drawers until like 2 years ago. Chest of drawers. I thought it was Chester drawers. There's a lot of things you find out later in life. I can't think of any right now, but there's some things that you don't know what the like the end of a tape measure. There's little things on the end of a tape measure, and they have a reason for it, and you don't know. And there's all kinds of
Right away? I didn't know it was right of way.
Yeah, it's right of way. Yeah, people say right away, like right away. I didn't know affidavit. You know, affidavit? I can't even say it. I didn't know. I thought it was after David. I'm serious. Okay? Can y'all think of any more of these good things that we don't realize until... I can't think of any right now, but if I think of them, I'm going to write them down. Chester drawers. All right, so 86 minus, take away, 86 minus 7 is what? Dang old 79. 79 minus 7 is 72. 72 minus 7 is what? 65 or what? Okay, so you need to learn and go to 3 standard deviations on each side. So you're going to add 3 standard deviations on the right. You're going to subtract or take away 3 standard deviations on the left. We're going to do this the whole year. I mean, the whole semester. So make sure you know how to do this. The mean is in the middle. And remember, you got to do the decimals. So you got to do it on the calculator so you do the decimals, okay? Now, the empirical rule says that 34% of the population is here, 34% of the population is here, and this is in your book on page 132. Somebody check and see, where's 132? You got it? Let's see what it is. Yeah, there it is. Right in the middle of the page. Make sure you memorize it. 34, 34, 13.5, 13.5%. Now, some books go different here. Some books put 2.3 here and 0.2 here. What does yours do? Did it say 2.5 or 2.2?
2.35.
Oh, I did 2.35. Oh, God. Anyway, 2.35, and then therefore this is 0.15. Is that what it says? Okay. And then this is 2.35% and 0.15. Now, it doesn't make sense until you start adding what I'm going to add next. So I'm going to take my handy dandy highlighter, and I'm going to use this green, and I'm going to highlight this area right here. So you might want to take your highlighter, and you might want to highlight this. 95% of the population is going to fall between 2 standard deviations. And this is called, my daughter is in college now, but I still use her word, that is called normal. Okay? 95% of the population is going to fall between 2 standard deviations, and that's considered normal or normal. Okay? So, what is the opposite of normal? Not normal, or what?
Abnormal.
Y'all been doing psychology. That's good. That's a good thing. But unusual. Unusual is, and we'll color it some off color. Let's go with, it's okay if I say off color, isn't it? I mean, that's not a bad thing. Off color, and that is, I don't want to offend any blue people. Do we have any blue people in here? Okay. All right. I don't want to offend anybody. There. That's that. That's unusual, so you put a U there. Well, then what's outside of unusual? Your 6-foot second graders. Your Michael Jordans. Your Tiger Woods. It was Peyton Manning, but that's, I'm pretty much gonna have to say, I mean, the hell with the NFL, but Tom Brady is pretty much the greatest of all time as far as, I mean, he is. Unless you got redneck disorders, like, oh, I can't stand him, he's stupid. Well, you're a redneck, shut up, okay? You don't get 10 freaking Super Bowls under your belt if you're not one of the greatest. So, but he's an outlier. All these are outliers. Okay, Michael Jordan was an outlier. Tiger Woods is an outlier. You could say Bill Mickelson is an outlier too. Okay, they're just the greatest of all. They old GOAT. All right, greatest of all time. It's outliers. It also could mean on the left side, they old dumb people. Okay, below a 65. All right. That could mean people lazy, don't study. It could be both sides. Does everybody understand what an outlier is? Outliers are out there. Okay? Now, all of this is going to help you in this next section when I say, what happens if? Now, I want you to look at 3 numbers. And I got 5 minutes, because some of y'all are going to go into convulsions. Let me go ahead and pass that thing around before y'all start twisting and turning and going into seizures. You're not going to go into seizures on me, are you? Y'all not going to talk to me now? I must have offended some blue people. Did I offend some blue people in here? Oh, we need to color that red. Oh my God. Hey. That mean guy with his red hat on. That poor Native American. Ended up not even being the other way around. I tell you, you know what the news is like today? It's like the ex-girlfriend or the ex-boyfriend that's still stalking you. You know what I'm talking about?
They won't go away.
They won't go away. They got issues. Dang old post-traumatic stress syndrome or something. No, we're just going to report what we want to report. We're not going to actually, find the facts. We're just going to, that guy beat up on that Native American, and it was the other way around. The guy was just standing there. Y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. Y'all live under a rock because it's been all over social media the last 2 days. I mean, it's really a joke. All right. Now, these 3 things I want you to highlight. I want you to highlight, take a yellow. No, not yellow. Let's go with magenta. I want you to highlight that one. I want you to highlight that one. I want you to highlight this one. Somebody tell me what those 3 things have in common. They're very what?
Similar.
They're very similar. Is that good? Yes. That means your data is tight. Tight is good. Okay? Tight means that you don't have any outliers. Tight means that you don't have any unusual numbers. Tight means that your data is good. When is it not good? What the heck is that noise? My phone? Okay, I've never seen that before. I don't know what that was. It might be that person still trying to get in on Skype. All right. Watch what happens. I'm going to change that 75. Let's say you drank too much water bottle stuff and you failed a test. Okay? Let's say you failed a test and instead of a 75, you made a 25. If I could ever get the thing to work. Watch those 3 numbers over there. Watch those 3 numbers. 25. What happened? The numbers went haywire. Why? Because my numbers are not the way they need to be. That 25 is saying, whoa, wait a minute. Something happened. Let's throw another number. Let's throw a number up here like 125. What happened? My numbers are all over the place. What about the standard deviation? What did it do? Did it increase or did it decrease? Why? Because the standard deviation is what I call the what? The spread. The standard deviation, see how close this is? 86 to 93? That's 7, right? What's the standard deviation?
Almost 30.
30. So instead of being right here, it's going to be what?
Way.
It's going to be spreading this thing out. Instead of it looking like this, it's going to look like this, only stretched out. It's going to be flat. All right? When you have numbers that are not aligned with your numbers in general, your tendency of center is going to be off. Tendency of center means that your 3 numbers right here are not going to be what? Lined up. And that is why you do this, so you can see, oh gosh, something's wrong. When I was in physics, what time is it? Because some of y'all going into convulsions. When I was in physics, we had to make a car out of a rat mouse trap. Okay? We had to add wheels on it, but that's the only thing we could add. Everything else had to come from the spring. We could use string and we could use rubber bands and we could use pulleys or whatever, but we could only add to the actual mousetrap 4 wheels. And then we could put something on the wheel like a gear or whatever, we could do that. We ran 15 trials of 20 feet. Why did we run 15? So we could throw away 5 and use 10 good what? 10 good times. Why? Because what happened on those 5? Well, one time rubber band broke. One time it ran off and hit the desk. One time the rubber band jumped off the wheel and just sat there. Why? I'm throwing out the what? The outliers, the unusual events. If you throw out the outliers and unusual events, then you're left with good what? Data. So let's change that 25 to a, and we're fixing to just chill, okay? I've got like 4 minutes, all right? Let's go back here and let's change this 25 to 81. And let's change this 125 to a 95. What happened to my standard deviation? It balanced out. What happened to my mean and my median and my mid-range? They're all close. That's what you're supposed to learn when you do this. You're not supposed to crank it out, put it on a piece of paper and go, Okay, I'm done. You're supposed to know what it does. Now, I don't have time to go through it today, but what is the average? I'll tell you what the average is and you write it down. The average is the number that represents uniformity. Average is the number that represents uniformity. Average is the number that represents uniformity. Uniformity means no variance. The only thing that's uniform in our universe, can anybody name the one thing in our universe that we have no control over? Time. Even though some women try to manipulate time, it doesn't work very well.
You
Okay.
said the average.
I'm talking right now. No, I'm just kidding. I got you, didn't I? Uniformity. Yes. The number that represents uniformity or no variance. Okay? So, no variance means that instead of a curve, what does it look like? Straight line. Because you can't change time. You can't stop it. You can't slow it down. You can't speed it up. Okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to a dance recital or a cheerleading competition. The moms try. I say try. Now, some can pull it off. Now, the ones that pull it off, I'm not talking about. But there's some moms that try to wear their daughter's clothes. It's not good. Okay? All right. So, that's when somebody tries to manipulate time. You can't do it. And then you're talking about the orange face, you know, the Oompa Loompas, they try to manipulate time too, and it doesn't work. All right, now, I'm going to turn this off. Y'all need to be working on 3.1 through 3.3. That's chances are that's what I've covered tonight. Are we going to cover